So we're in Fresno, California. We just finished doing a repair to a water line in this shower area. It's American standard valve, the diverter in the wall, and so they got a rain shower head up here, and then a handheld sprayer. Well, this water over here began to slow, and then finally stopped running. So first we thought maybe it's a diverter, so we came in here, asked the homeowner, okay, they're recommending cartridge replacement, so we replaced the cartridge in the, actually it's not a cartridge, it's like a little spacer and some O-rings and another spacer. Anyways, that's the only thing you can do to rebuild the diverter is take it apart and rebuild it. So we did, and we didn't get any results out of that. So fine, move on to the next portion. Is that valve in there correctly? So we purchased one, can't remember where we got it, probably supplyhouse.com, it's sitting in that box. And what we told them we'd do is we'd open up the back side of this wall and take a look and see if it was installed correctly. So first thing we did, opened it up, took a look. Yep, it's installed correctly. So to get creative, we wanted to make sure that all the lines are working correctly. So we can see the water lines now. We turn the valve on, hot and cold, turn the water on and divert it. Water's coming out of the rain shower, so great. Divert it over there, nothing. So we cut the line, which is, it used to come down here. There's sorry about there's no light in here, but down here there's a hole. That's where the line used to be, and it used to be tied in right here. So what we did is we cut it apart and we put a gauge on, or put a little adapter. We used this hose and a shark bite adapter, and then on this side we put an air gauge, and then of course we got our little filler in our tank right here, and went to put air in it. No air would come through, so we pumped it in this way over there. No air would go through. Opposite, we went over here and hooked it up, took everything apart just down to the nipple and hooked it up. No air would go through. We did hook it up, shark bite fitting up to here, and ran the hose over, this AW hose right there, over into the shower, turned it on, plenty of water. So it meant the line, the old line down here, was clogged. So we opened up the back side of the wall, and unfortunately we're into a demo here, and of course I have to get a sheetrock guy out here to do the repair, and then taped extra paint. But so we took it all apart, got in here, and ran the line through, and you can see here we're back far enough so it doesn't need any straps. 1, 2, and over to here. Same block we'll put back in there. We put the screws back in, so that's good. The pieces are over in the bathroom. We demoed some more in the bathroom wall, and you have to get some sheetrock back out here because it's behind the little nooks, the little niches in the shower area. Anyway, so water's on, and so it's repaired and good. What we did find out, we cut this old line out one piece at a time, looking to see where the blockage was, and what we found is in one of the 90s, and I can't really tell you, it's the first time I've seen this, 42 years in the trades, 30 in plumbing, and what we had is in this 90 right here, that was a 90 right there, and we cut all the pipe back around it, and we could see corrosion there, but we didn't know what it was from, which you can see, I mean, that's in pretty bad shape. So we cut it apart. We just took it and cut it at an angle, and that's what we found. So it's a sheetrock screw. It was in the water line, it was stuck in that 90, and it was rusting, and it just clogged the whole line. So I don't know how it got in there, but it's out now. New lines are run, and so like I say, everything's back in, water's on, we've tested it. We're going to take a closer look over here to make sure that we don't have any leaking at this existing drop ear 90. It's a Uponor. We were going to put a new one in there. So what I'm doing right now is I'm feeling in there the 90 and to make sure that we don't have any moisture in there, because this is the only time we can tell what's going on. So I had a shark bite drop ear 90. Not real fond of them. This had an Uponor already in place, so we just put a coupling on it and extended the pipe over to here, and then ran it over there around the corner and into the bathroom. So it appears that there is no moisture. I don't like things that are being blocked in. Then this is the way it is. We don't have a choice. Honestly, it's the back side of the wall, and you got tile on the other side, so we can't see it or monitor it. But certainly, if it were me, I would leave it open as long as you could, and maybe put something like push this insulation out of the way, and take a paper towel and lay it on top of here and back into there. In the event that it does drip, because right underneath here, that's where it'll drip. But if you put some paper towel in here and you waited a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, if there's any moisture at all whatsoever, a hint, just a little tiny bit, we need to know. The reason why is once you cover the wall up, you're done. And so, like I say, I'm feeling in there right now. All it is brass nipple that's screwed into the existing Uponor drop ear 90. So it's got 3 screws on there. And this was already mounted to the block. Existing, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a brass, drop ear 90 in there, and it was flowing. There was no corrosion in that, so that was fine. But we did put a new brass nipple in, stubbed out of the wall, because it was a galvanized steel nipple stubbed out. So that's in brass. So I don't feel any moisture, but please monitor this. Stuff some paper towels in here, and then pull it out and take a look. I mean, really take a look. Leave it as long as you're comfortable with this wall being open, because this is your testing time. Most homes, they sit for 6 months or 3 months, something like that. Framing's in, plumbing goes in, and it just sits there for a while before sheetrock goes on. So monitor it, monitor. So that's good out here. Inside, we don't have the cover plate on yet. What we did is there was some hardware, not hardware, just a couple screws that were missing. And we took this cover plate off. The way that this mounts is you mount it from the back side, screw the blocks in, and that fastens the valve and the diverter. It's not great, but there's not much I can do with it, because again, this is the blocks that are existing right there, and they've got it just strapped right here with a 2-hole strap. It's a plastic 2-hole strap, and I can feel it. It's broken, but it's not really going anywhere, because the pipe is up against sheetrock. The pipe and the fittings, it's up against there, and so it's not going to move. I mean, honestly, it's fine, but I like to mount things, and you can't because it's already tiled in. When the wall's open, you do all your mounting from the front. Nice screws in there, block it correctly, get it secure, and then, you're pretty sure it's going to stay in place. Well, we don't have that luxury, because, this is what we have right here. We can't take this all apart and then get it strapped back in there. So, anyways, we'll reuse what they've got. The piece that was missing is right here. So we had a screw down here. It's a 3/16 screw, about a 2.5 inch long, something like that. This one was missing. We just happened to have one on our truck. We've got some toggle bolts out there, 1/4 and 3/16. And what was happening is this cover plate was moving in and out off the wall. So we found this guy screwed in there. So now you're golden. And in this trim, right, well, there's little screws that hold this place on. This is actually what the whole large cover plate, the escutcheon right there. That's about 7-inch diameter. This is what it snaps onto, and so you can see there's the mounting screw, and then of course the other one they lost that and they put a drywall screw in. So no big deal. We're gonna get this back together, get the trim on, run some water. Outside of that, this installation is done.